This is the entrance to the door of no return. Once you walk out these doors, there's no returning.
Now, with the exception of these two cells here, all other rooms on the ground floor were residences for men. On top all around were residences for soldiers, traders, and pastors. On top of them, we had the deputy governor. And on top of the deputy, we had the governor. So that the importance the person was perceived to have been, the higher up he lived. When the ships came, the men were taken from these dungeons to this. So this became known as transit dungeon. And in here, some of them got branded. You know branded? They put the stamps in fire, they gave the marks. And some were dying from the shock or the pain of it. This hole here and the next one up here were for lines and air, for ventilation. As you come further down, you have to wash your hair and take a step down. Wash your hair, one step down. One step. One step. Watch your head. Watch your head.
Door of no return.
This is the point of no return. Yeah, this one, everybody's gonna grab it about what to do.
You said you got
Staff and watch your head. Reaction.
You're at the door of no return, Bomani. Are you gonna return?
So this was the final point in the process. Meaning simply, nobody entered this room and went back. From here to the point, and that's it. What I try to let people know is that in the life of a captive, life never got better. It only got worse. So first was very difficult being with the family, maybe eating, sleeping, going to the market or farm, and then the next minute you're in chains. And made to walk all the distance into this place. Now, most of those who came to this particular point had to come through a village we call Asan Manso. And this village is about an hour's drive from here on the Kumasi Road.
We were there yesterday.
Oh, okay.
2 days ago.
2 days. 2 days. Yeah.
So after they've been washed, shaved, smeared of oil, they walk down to this place. And I tell people that no matter how difficult it was walking down to this place, it was better than staying in the dungeons a month or two, in your own feces and urine and all that. And whatever happened in the dungeons was seen to be better compared to the ships. It was brutal out there than the dungeons.
Wow.
Yeah, you know this man called John Newton, who is accredited with the song Amazing Grace.
Right.
I hate that song.
Yeah, we all do.
I hate it.
Yeah. And he was describing he was a slave ship captain before, and he was describing the interior of a ship, and this is what he said. He said the slaves were chained 2 and 2 together. They were laid in 2 rows, one above the other on each side of the ship. They were close to each other like books on a shelf. He said, I have known them so close the books on a shelf cannot easily contain one more. And I know a white man sent down to arrange them in these rows to the greatest advantage, so that as little space as possible be lost. And every morning more instances than one are seen of the living and the dead chained together. One guy whose account made me very sad was Richard Drake. Richard Drake was an Irish American, and with his experience he said, on the 8th day out at sea, I went round the half deck, holding a camphor bag in the teeth, for the stench was hideous. I saw the sick and the dying chained together. He said, I saw pregnant women giving birth to babies whilst chained to corpses, because the drunken overseers had not gone in to remove them. Africans were literally jammed between decks as if in a coffin. And in a coffin in that dreadful hold, they came to nearly 1/2 of our cargo before we reached Bahia in Brazil. Several others will let you know how very difficult it could have been going across the waters. And to be taken to the final destinations, to me, nothing could be compared to that. So progressively, it was worse. Now, when they were into gold and ivory and others, the gate was from the wall here to this one. When this evil trade started, they narrowed the exit to what you can see for nobody to escape, one person at a time. The narrow nature of the exit should not deceive us into thinking that probably they never brought fat people. They brought big people. But walking down the distances, staying here a month or two, by the time they got here,
They were in there.
yes. The water then was touching the castle. Now it has receded.
Right.
And experts are saying it is just because of the movement of the earth. So that is natural. Meaning that right after this, we had steps where they descended in chains to small boats, and the small boats took them to the ships, distances away. And through this and several others of this nature in Africa, explains why today, Africans as we are, scattered all over the world. You look all around over here, we have wreaths all over. Ghana, there is a festival here called Pan-African Historical Festival. And whenever we have this festival, there's a program under it called Lakwaba. Akwaba simply means welcome. So as we welcome everybody to the program, we remember the ancestors. By remembering them, we say all the prayers, and after we lay wreaths. Normally we get 3, one from the chiefs, one from the government, and one from all Africans in the diaspora. From this time around, anyone who visits and would like to light a candle or lay a wreath in memory of an ancestor is allowed to do so. And that explains why we have more than 3 here today. From the time we started laying wreaths, I tell people to keep a minute of silence in memory of all those who passed on during the process. And why do I tell them to do that? I just tell them that, listen, those who refused to eat and they died, those who fought and were killed, those who jumped overboard and killed themselves,
Yes.
did that to protest. In other words, they paid the final penalty. They gave their lives in protest. And I do tell people also that those who survived the journey isn't because they were strong, but they made up their mind to survive, that they could tell the story. So here you keep a minute of silence in their memory. And after that, you be bold enough to say never again. Again, I tell people, do not just say some words, but make a vow in you to do this little thing you can do in your own small way, making sure this evil will never again be repeated. A minute of silence. Let us say never again.
Never again.
Never,
Never
ever
again.
again.
Never.
I like to prepare to
Ever.
pour some libation right here in this spot, family.